Hey, so I've been asked a couple times before, how do you lace or Singingtree drone flute? So most of my drone flutes have two holes drilled between the two chambers so that it is easier for fine tuning when you have these two single blocks like this. And if one flat block is just more prone to future problems and things like that. So most times you're going to find these two holes drilled in here. What happens if you happen to remove those leather ties? Well, it's not the easiest thing to get them back in place, but I'll show you how I do that. So you have to take both pieces of leather. There's going to be two leather straps to lace on both sides of your flute. You know, one wraps around each side. So you start with the holes in the center, and you have to, it's almost like threading a needle. Take both pieces of leather, put them together, and really kind of stiffen them up, kind of, you know, work them to a point so they're nice and skinny. And then you have to work them through this hole here. So both at the same time, and you work it in there. And if your leather's too thick, it's gonna get caught and it's gonna be tough. You could potentially get a nail or some kind of tool to help push those through if you'd like. But the hope is they go through just like that, and then you pull them through, right? And so I go more than halfway through on my pull when I'm pulling that leather. And right now I opened it up, and I want the suede side down in this case. So I just put it like that, and I'll put my finger there. And so that'll help guide it without it like turning around and flipping upside down. And so I'll pull more than halfway through because I'm gonna do a second wrap. You see how that's like that? Okay, now you just go ahead. The two that you just pushed through, you're gonna pull them around again, making sure you're not twisted around or anything twisted like that. Make sure it's nice and flat and smooth. And then you reach over the top. There's your two pieces again. And then, again, just pay attention to what you're doing, because now you sort of have to turn them inward again, because I want the suede side down. I'm putting the smooth side together. And then I put them through the hole, the second hole above. Doesn't matter which hole you do first, but essentially that's how you lace them. And then of course the same thing, work it through, push it in there nice and gently, and hopefully you get enough through. So this time I didn't get enough to push through. So I have a needle file right here, or a nail. I'm just gonna take that and push it through. Put that right in the hole. Now both sides popped right through, right here. Okay, so now they're through. Again, same difference, you pull it tight, make sure there's no twists. If you happen to get a twist, just back out the leather a little bit and work it with your hand. And so there we are. Now we're wrapped around. Here's the front, here's the back lacing. And so there they sit. Now from here, you have your totems, your fetish blocks, your sound blocks, and these just slide underneath the the leather. And then I'll pick this up and show you in a sec. So I just slid it underneath this leather. This leather is now looped in there. So the only way to get it under is to loosen it up some, slide it under, and this one will wrap over, and now you tie. You're working with the same piece of leather. You can always give a little tug if it looks confusing of which, you know, piece of leather you're holding on to. But now I have the same piece of leather, top and bottom, and now I just tie a half of a square knot in the back. I never tie a full square knot, because then the leather will eventually stretch, your knot will get stuck, and it actually, the sound block or fetish will end up being looser in the long run, and you'll have a harder time keeping it in place. So that's how you do it. I'll try to show you this one more time on this side. So here we go. We're sliding this under. there's no way to lift this up now, so you just have to make sure you have enough slack on this looped one, because that went through twice. That makes that sort of stuck. But you can pull as much back through as you want, right? Put this one under, and now again, you pull it again. That is how you get your fetishes back on if you took them off for some reason and pulled the leather out for cleaning purposes or whatever you did. And of course, from that point, you have to line them up exactly how you want to line them up to get your optimal sound quality. And you can refer to your new Singingtree flute. That's a video. Maybe I'll put that in the description of this video. And that shows you the ideal fetish placement if you no longer remember where that's supposed to go. Okay, I hope this helps you out. Take care.